Hello, TFE owners. Welcome to your prospect contract signing night. The blurry guy up there is Tony, and you know Sam already. We're not going to take a lot of time to dilly-dally. We're just going to kind of jump into it. Sam's going to share the screen. And Sam, if you want to give a quick rundown, I know you already have multiple times on what exactly you're going to do here. And that this is we are seeing what is actually happening. Like, when you fill them out and send them in, some of the stuff changed, but that's not what what you're actually seeing. What we are doing here is what we are seeing.
Yeah. So let me start off by saying I'm sorry this process has been a little more elongated than I wanted it to be, but we're going to knock this out tonight. There are two teams that saved their document in a format that I cannot access. One is a Google Docs drive that I don't have access to. I requested access, but I haven't got it yet. The other one has no file name. I don't know if they deleted the XLS or whatever off the back of it, but it just won't open in any format. I was able to go get the ones in numbers, but I can't do the other two. So two of you won't get your results tonight, but I'll work with you to get that straightened out. I'm going to share my screen. So here I have all of them pulled up, and just let me know that you guys can see that on your end, Alan.
Yeah, I see it. We're on the Cubs right now, yeah?
Yeah, we're on the Cubs. I didn't validate this to make sure that you all have the right player. Everybody was supposed to do that. So if there's a mistake, if you sign somebody that you don't have, we're just going to remove them, and you'll get, you won't have to pay that signing bonus or whatever, right? But everybody should have the right players on here. Everything is, determined by the draft round and all that good stuff. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this cell down here, and I'm going to shift it to yes for each team. And it's going to auto-update everything. And I'm just going to do it one time per team. It'll be done. I'm going to copy, paste in the value, and save it into another folder. And, that'll be it. So without further ado, unless you don't have questions, I'll get started.
We're up to 7 people watching. 7.
That's great.
That's like almost a third of the league. If you count the 3 of us, it is the third of the league. So
yeah,
all right.
Hey, that's true. Yeah. All right. So there's no particular order here. I had to make some adjustments to a few of them that had format errors and stuff. So we're just going to start at the bottom and move our way up to the top. So starting with the Cubs, again, I'm just going to drop it down here. Now, if you notice, the Cubs gave a 200% offer to everyone, so there's no chance that he won't sign somebody. It's just a matter of whether or not he'll save some money on him. So we'll go to yes. So he signed everyone. His income amount is $40. So I will copy it.
And 13 cents.
All right, Josh Cubs. First one down. No surprises. He was given 200% of everybody, so there was no chance at any anguish or anything for the Cubs.
All right, let's see.
Tony, what the hell is that hat you're wearing?
This is a spring training Cubs hat.
Apropos.
Because we're still in spring training.
As we do the Cubs first.
Yeah. Yes. I asked that guy, what's his connection to Cubs? Guy has season tickets to Wrigley.
Josh does? Joshua?
Wow. He has legit connections to being. I was like, well, I proposed to my wife at a AAA Cubs game, but I guess season tickets probably trump that. So we'll go with yours.
Big Wrigleyville guy.
Yes. Yeah. He said he's not too far. He lives right in the heart of Chicago. I think he said he's like 5-10 minutes from everything downtown. So he's a Chicago guy.
What do we got now? Blue Jays?
Toronto has 200% on all of his as well. And he signs everyone, but he does pay 200% on on Pharaoh Lorenzo. So it's $7 there. So save it as that final.
Two teams, nobody unsigned.
Yep. St. Louis also has 200% guaranteed, so
Gonna get
he signed
everybody.
everyone and he didn't have to go. He signed everyone on the first time through. Wow, look at that.
Nice.
So that's no cost savings, though, right? Since he signed him the first time, correct? You almost want, if you're going to do the 200, you almost want him to sign the second time.
No, you definitely want them to sign the first time. If you,
I'm sorry, I just want to. I'm getting this for the people who are watching who may be confused.
Well, I'd rather sign the guy at his original 100% than have to give him 200%.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, so Tampa Bay also 200%. Man, a lot of people averse to losing their prospects here.
Yeah,
which is good.
$31 for Tampa Bay.
Hey, what was your? Did you have an over/under amount of what you thought this was going to bring in for the pool?
Yeah, I don't remember what that was though.
Okay.
I could go back and look at the spreadsheet. All right, let's see. San Francisco. They are all right. Our first team with some zeros on there, so we'll see how this goes. Signed everyone. Only have one go to the second round, so $51 for San Francisco.
And I'm pretty sure I have quite a few zeros, but I am still hoping to sign everybody. But I'm pretty sure I have some zeros in that last round. That'll be interesting.
All right, San Diego also has all 200s. Man, look at this. 3 first-round picks.
Ooh,
that's awesome.
It's going to be pricey.
If they go to the 200% chance, it will be.
Roll that dice. One of them did, right?
All right, they got them all at $41. That's not bad.
But one of them went to the 200, right? One of that first.
I don't think so.
No, it went to the second round. I didn't see any at 200. I'll pull it back up.
Okay. My eyesight might be.
Yeah, the cost here would be at 200, so they had one of them go into the.
Gotcha. Because I'm looking at the green in the first column and the red in the second. It's got to be red.
Yeah, it's got to be red to get to 200.
Gotcha.
Well, and you'll see that cost pop up in that last column too. If it gets that far, that column will have a number in it. I think so far Toronto was our most expensive signings so far. I think.
Yeah. So Amrock living up to the Pittsburgh Pirates, strategy here of low signings. He does have a couple zeros on here, so we might lose our first player here.
Oh, yes, we did.
Two.
Woof.
I don't know if that's good. I don't know why I'm enjoying that. I just wanted to see it happen.
That just means
heartbreak. See it happen, and I didn't want to be me.
Heartbreak for you coming up.
So just a reminder, if you don't sign somebody, their name's lined out over here. That means you have to cut them. I'm going to try and give them a contract designation to let everyone know they may not pick them up. They will re-enter the draft next year, and they can be drafted in any round next year, but they can't be he can't be acquired with FAB during the year.
Yeah, we'll have to figure something out for that.
What was his total amount?
$31.
Okay.
All right, Phillies here is they were interesting. They're a straight 1 through 20 team. Okay. They didn't make any trades or anything stupid like that. But they've got their 200% for their top 5. But then they roll the dice here.
Ooh.
No, they don't, because they did 175 on second offer. So they're not. They're gonna get them for sure in the second chance.
Okay.
$59.
And didn't get anybody to that last round, so that's not terrible.
Well,
but
they
still,
had.
I think that's the most expensive we've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, they had 100% chance there. In the second round, they went 175.
Oh yeah, 175 on everybody. Yeah.
Yep. So. And I can't see comments that people are saying stuff, so just let me know.
Someone let me know if I sign any of my guys, Brendan. No one else has commented in the stream yet.
He can watch the thing if he wants to know.
Yeah.
This is an interesting strategy by the Athletics. They are guaranteed to sign their top 15 in the second round, but they roll the dice on the lower ones that guarantee them at the end. So again, they won't lose anybody. What? They spend $50.63.
And this is all real money going into the year 1 prize pool this league, which you're not generally going to see this much of it because we only have 5-round
we
drafts.
only have 20 rounds, right?
Yeah,
right.
That kind of makes up for the lower entry fee.
Yeah, so in future rounds, you might see something like $23 if you just take the first 5 rounds, for example, which is what this team would have experienced. Yeah, and all of this goes to the playoff pool, if y'all remember that piece as well.
Who's
all
this?
right, Nets here also have the 200% protection.
Jeez.
$53.50.
That's our third team over 50. Not bad. Pumping that money into the prize pool.
Yes.
I want to say I assume $40 a team, but
yeah.
All right, Montreal has a bunch of zeros here, so it could get dicey. Oh no,
yeah,
they did 100%. No, they just did a straight 150. They're just going to guaranteed sign everybody round 1. So they're going to be at 57.75. Nothing will change.
I want to look at something real quick because I didn't even see all this stuff that you guys are noticing. I'm not going to change any of my stuff, obviously. I might look
a little late for that now.
Yeah, I might look like a complete idiot with some of this.
So Milwaukee does low, mid, max. She's got some water. All right. So they come out 38. Look at their number.
There's our first round pick that went to the final.
Who's that?
That's brutal. DePaula.
It was Josue DePaula.
1.9 overall pick.
Nice.
So that guy's back in the pool until next FY.
He signed. He just went to the last round.
Oh, I thought. I'm sorry. I was looking at another screen too because I see
He was like the first.
And then he
round
had
player.
200. I see.
200 protection, so he signed them. He had 2 go to that 200 level.
But it cost him 14 instead of 7. So.
I definitely have some guys I'm going to lose. It's going to be bad.
All right, let's see. We have the Dodgers, and they've got some zeros in here.
A lot of zeros. I might lose some here.
You're the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, not bad. Lose your 20th round pick.
I don't even know who that was. So yeah, I'm okay. Uneventful.
Oh, mine's going to be eventful. I just looked at like what we're noticing.
Maybe you'll get they'll sign on the first time around. You probably didn't take anybody to a 0 for round 1.
No, lowest I went was 75%.
Yeah, so not too.
All right, here's Miami. Let's see. They have the 200 protection as well.
Yeah, and everybody.
Oh, their first round pick. They got popped at 125. So $12 for Bubba Chandler.
Yeah, keep that in your mind for the record keeping aspect, Tony. DePaula so far the most expensive
14 something.
And the only first rounder that's went to that 200% yet.
That's what the cheapo Pirates went, $33? So DePaula cost half of the Pirates signing.
31, yeah, but
31. Yeah.
Rough math.
All right.
Angels.
All right. Angels spending some money to make sure they lock in their guys first round there, or second round if they need to. But they've also got some zeros on there, so let's see how this comes out.
Yeah. They did.
Alonzo Treadwell,
10th round pick.
Sign, but he got all of his big guys early on, so not too bad. But $57, not cheap.
$57. Fifth team over 50. I didn't even look at what mine ended up being. I think I was like low 40s.
Yo, Dan, we got our first comment. Pod time.
What does Dan say?
Pod time.
Pod time.
Yeah. I like this guy.
All right. Kansas City does have some zeros on there. We'll see what happens. $53 was what their sheet came in as before. and it goes 53.75, but they retain everybody. So largely uneventful signing night, other than some more expensive guys, with Bubba Chandler and DePaula going more expensive. That's cool. It wasn't my money, but
Was this Texas? Was that next?
Houston.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was going bottom to top. I had mine up first, making sure it would work right. So I'm technically going to go last, but it doesn't matter.
No, you're good.
Let's see. Houston here has the 200-point protection.
He's going to get everybody. Yeah.
And they're at 32.75.
Pretty cheap for getting everybody.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's Pittsburgh cheap.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on where their folks fell in the draft. So see, they didn't have anyone in the first 3 rounds, so they avoided those expenses.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But they still got hit. Look at that. 4 guys went to the 200% offer. That's $10 right there on guys outside of the 10th round.
So he could have been for 30 if he wouldn't have got smacked with that.
Yeah, he could have been a lot lower. All right, let's see. We have Detroit. And they basically said, give me everybody but my last 3 picks. I don't really care about them. So we'll see how this goes. Gets everybody for $39.25.
Very nice, very nice. White Sox.
All right, White Sox. They're another one.
What's that NA? Was he a legit signing?
Where do you see an NA? I don't know. Round. Yeah, he's got another one here. You might have to audit some of those. If there was somebody drafted that you can't draft, you're just not going to pay for them. You just, use Fab to pick up somebody else or something. We'll figure that piece out. But let's see. He had the 200% protection in, but he got hit with 2 of his hired guys.
20. Oh, that must have been the guy. Dan must be White Sox because he said they're legit.
Okay. Yeah, Dan is White Sox.
So, my bad, Dan. I wasn't trying to call you out, just asking a question.
Yeah, his number 2 guy, Blake Dunn, went for double, as well as his 6th round guy. All right, let's see. There's a lot. Oh, kind of interesting. Some gaps here, but they really wanted these 2. This is the Rockies. This is not. It says it has been activated, so I'm going to shift it to no, and then I'm going to shift it back to yes. When I go to no, whatever happens does not count. So this does not count. And now that counts. 33. Hey, you saved a couple bucks.
A couple bucks is a couple bucks.
Who are the Rocks?
The Rocks. Let's see. I messaged them about a trade. That's the Bryant. Hold on, I got it. It's what's the guy's name? Carpy.
Oh, okay. Brian Carpenter.
Yeah.
Carpy.
Okay, this is kind of interesting as well. There's a couple.
Tony's Indians.
Oh, these are the traded players.
Oh,
so,
this is the yeah. Did you get the? Okay, let's see if you got 100. Yeah. Yep. We're good. You got it all good.
Okay.
I had an injury. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with this because I think I bombed this thing. But like, how many guys?
You're expensive, and you aren't to anyone. Tony, you max signed people in the first round, so you're.
I did, but some of them I didn't.
Yeah, a couple of them you didn't. Yeah,
so I have some that are at exposure.
Oh, losing.
You did lose a guy.
What did I go on him? 100, 100, 0? Okay.
Yeah, see? Well, lost one guy. No big.
I have one extra because I had 22. So I still got to make a cut.
Or trade. I think trading's allowed in this league.
I don't like trading. I'm anti-trading. It's Lent now. I don't trade. I gave it up.
Turning over a new leaf.
All right, this is low mid high. Is this Brendan?
Yeah. And he said, "Let me know if I sign all my guys." Dude, you had 200%.
Yeah, but
but what will the cost be? So 39 is his base here, if you will. Oh, Sagizi doubles. $10 easy.
Hey, what was mine? Can you go back to that if you got time?
What was your what? Your total?
Like that?
No, it was like 61 or something.
I was gonna say I thought it was pretty up there, but we'll do it.
So you're the high guy so far.
What is this?
It's just the formatting. It wasn't wide enough.
Okay.
So it shows that pounds.
This is our lawyer constitution guy.
Yeah. All right. So he had a couple first rounders. This is going to be interesting. He is 200%, but he does have some nines. So good luck, Bronner. So Jonathan Cannon just did not want to sign.
Not feeling being a Brave in the TFE.
Didn't like that Atlanta airport. I hear it's awful.
Gonna go back to school. Gonna re-enter the draft next year. Try to go earlier. Get more money.
Make that money.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the 1-1 overall. Was Marcy the number 1-1 overall? I don't remember that. But
he was. Yeah, he was.
Hey, do we have time? Can I give a backstory on this guy for like 30 seconds?
Sure.
He was in a league that I started up about 5 years ago before I even joined ABL. And we hadn't even talked to each other since that 5 years.
Wow. Small world.
Yeah.
Yeah, small fantasy world. That's cool. And he's high on Jacob Marcy.
So he's sitting around $50. Let's see how it goes. 50 still.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I know Marcy has been seeing the helium. I was a little surprised to see him go 1-1, but I certainly think his name probably should have been in there. But I like Graham Pauly maybe even a little bit better on that same team.
All right, some interesting strategy bouncing around here for the Seattle team. Oh, gets it with a $9 place plus A.
Jonathan Class A. All right. Trying to keep a running tab of the
expensive guys.
5 or so most expensive. Yeah.
Are you keeping track of most expensive teams too, or not?
I've just been marking down how many have been over $50, which is an arbitrary number. So not really. So far, it's you, Tony.
Kind of interesting. Alan Roden is not selected for 200%. So we'll see how this goes.
Who's okay?
So let me just stop here. I'm going to delete out the Japanese guys that he cut because they shouldn't be on here. So when I make changes here, it's going to update, but it doesn't count.
This is old Nolan, isn't it? Nolan, the Yankees.
Old and Nolan.
All right.
So far, your top. Oh, go ahead, Sam.
Yeah. So, all right, he gets everyone at $40.
What was the highest? What was the highest round, Alan? Like 8th. Is the 8th the highest round we have that didn't sign? An 8th round pick didn't sign.
Oh, that I didn't pay attention to.
All right. This one was interesting, too. Chad Dallas drew the ire of the owner to be the only one not selected for 200%. We'll see how that plays out.
And he walks. No.
No, he didn't.
35.
If this was OOTP, he would, though. Players have personalities.
Yeah. So I should have spent some time studying this and coming up with a strategy, but I just haven't had time to. So for mine, I just went.
Oh, so this is the last one.
Yeah, this is the last one. There's 2 again that I couldn't access, so I'm gonna have to circle up with them. But I just went, man.
There's no mystery. You got all 200s.
Right. Yeah, but his first round is all 75s.
Oh,
yeah, my first 2 offers are at 75.
I see.
So I don't know. I could have played around with it to figure out if this is a good strategy or not, but we'll see how it works out.
Hammer them.
I know. I could be at like $50.
Hammer them.
That's not too bad.
Same outcome.
$12 or no?
Not too bad. Yeah.
6 and 8. Yeah, 14 extra.
Yeah, that hurts.
31.
But he got plenty of guys at the 75 to offset that though.
Well, so. Your first pick was in the 7th round.
Yeah. I didn't have anyone.
That explains why.
Yep. Took the Amrock strategy there.
You two are Are you really Amrock? Have you guys been seen in the same room?
Never seen them in the same place at the same time. Yeah. Oh, there we go. There's your all except for I don't even know who. I wasn't paying attention to who it was we were missing. But
that I wasn't able to do their thing is the Reds did Google Docs and didn't give me access, and Boston saved their file as something funky. So
now, yeah, everybody's unleashed. You can trade your prospects now. No worries. Sam, are these going to be league safe bills?
Well, I was going to say one hang up is on the league safe. Once you hit your deadline, they charge you $10 for an additional deposit. So we're probably going to use Trax Treasurer for this $30 to $50 thing. It's easy to send in individual bills for each owner at that point, and then there'll just be a separate payout through Trax Treasurer. So I'll do a spreadsheet at the end of the year. It'll say, Alan, you're entitled to $200. 80% is in league safe or whatever that number is. So you'll get, $160 from league safe and $40 from Fantrax or whatever it will be. In the future, and I don't know, the other way I thought about was creating a second league safe league for just this other piece and not having the deadline on it, obviously, until we all paid in to prevent from paying that $10. We can discuss it. I'm fine either way. Since it's a much smaller piece of the pie, I think Fantrax Treasure is fine. But if somebody feels really strongly about it, we can create a second leg of league safe. Because whatever option we come up with is going to be the option we're going to have to use moving forward year over year. And we just want to make sure it makes sense. So.
I would prefer that we mail you personal checks.
We've had that situation before.
Post-dated, of course.
Yeah, post-dated, of course.
All right.
So are you going to make all these documents available for us to see, or how is that going to be for people to see the signings and stuff like that if they didn't pause the video?
I could load them up into another thread that says like finals and just add them all like I did the last one. I'll wait until I finalize the other two. Well, I don't have to wait. I can just drop the 28 that I have now in there and you can see them. Just realize that if you go playing with it, it'll change the number. Just don't save the document or go back into Discord and download the OG one again. You'll be fine. You won't be able to break it really because it'll preserve what I drop into Discord.
Okay. All right. Well, there we have it.
And what's our next order of business?
Trading.
That's
we have like 5 weeks till the season.
Spring trading. Yeah, spring trading.
No, the next order of business will be cutting down the rosters and getting all those legal. They shouldn't have gone on this long. It was never intended for everybody to have 500 roster spots and all that kind of stuff. Again, I've just had stuff going on, but we're going to get that cleaned up. I will announce a cut date for MLB. So when everybody has to be within 20 MLB players, probably be like by the end of February. And at the same time, we'll shrink the actual active roster to 29. So you can keep your 3 additional MLB minor league guys in those taxi squad spots if you wanted, or whatever. You'll just have to be down to 20 minor leaguers. Whether they have experience or not is fine at this point, but 20 minor leaguers, no more than 29 on your active roster, with 26 of those 29 having prior MLB experience, even if they're currently in the minors. So like I have Joey Weimer. He has a green flag. I can put him in my minors, or I can leave him on my active roster and he counts as one of those 26 because he's played in the pros before, even though he's showing in the minor leagues. That's fine. You just can't have 20 minor leaguers who've never played before in your minors prospects and say 5 prospects on your roster, because then you don't have 24 in theory or something like that major league players.
What are we looking at? And I think you may have covered this, but what are we looking at for the players who are red flagged, but not specifically IL? When do we have to have, are we giving, like, how much leeway are we giving with that?
Yeah, so that's something we can discuss. If you are on the IL, you're not supposed to be able to be picked up. If you have a red flag, who cares? You could have a red flag because your shoulder is sore after your last start.
Yeah, red flag can be day to day, you know?
Yeah. Well, I guess what I mean is the people who were drafted and auctioned off, because there are some teams who've slotted those guys who they've actually won, not through FAB, but in the auction, slotted them into the IL and now have an even larger roster. But they're going to have to cut.
The IL guys don't count on your active 29, but if you're carrying all 29 spots and an IL guy gets activated, you're going to have to cut or trade somebody. And I think it gives you 24, 48 hours before it locks your roster, and you owe the commissioner $30 to unlock your team and make the move for you. That's paid by Venmo.
And you are also required to do that even if that happens in the off season before opening day.
You cannot have an illegal roster after, say, March 1st, if that's the date we go with, which will probably be the date we go with. Just to have grace on everyone, let everyone figure out how to be legal and everything like that. But yeah, if you've got Dustin May and they put him on the IL because the Dodgers have like 87 guys that need to go to the IL so they can have a 40-team roster. And then he shows up and he's like, hey, guess what? I feel great. I'm going to throw in the bullpen, and they activate him, in 2 weeks. You got to get him off the IL, and he's going to take a spot. So if you don't have room, you're in trouble. And there's not going to be any grace for people who carry 29 players on their roster and have minor league call-ups or IL folks. You're going to have to cut or trade in a very short period of time. The pure intent here is that you have 26 players on your roster. Those 3 extra spots are not intended to be kept with a bunch of relievers that you can stream or something. You can do that if you want, but you're going to have to cut somebody or trade somebody if somebody gets called up.
You said that was 48 hours?
I think it is. I'd have to look in the Fantrax setting real quick. Okay. Let me check it out here. It's a setting in Commissioner, if I recall correctly. Transactions and periods. Rosters.
And then we do have a live question in the actual Discord chat.
Which is strange because this is not a call-in show.
I know. So I was just...
That's fine. Okay.
I'm just reporting the news in my beautiful hat here.
Yeah, I don't see where it has the time period laid out here. I could be missing it, but I'll confirm that. It'll let you know. It's going to lock your roster. I might have that box unchecked right now, so it's not showing me the option. Yeah, I can't see it, but I'm pretty sure it's 24, 48 hours.
Okay. Sounds good. Did you want me to read that live question, or did you care?
Yeah, please.
Yes. So it is from Amrock. He has a screenshot in the Discord, and it's showing 4 injured players. It looks to me like Gonsolin and Ray are actually on the IL, where Molly and Scherzer are not, because it's showing 2 different flags. So he's just asking for the difference between the flags, because 2 of these guys have different flags than the other, but they can go on the IL. So I think there's more or less. Go ahead.
There's a setting here that allows you to put players that are red flag on the IL, because Major League Baseball has not declared a lot of the players on IL because they don't need to right now. That is not checked. So if you want to stash guys there, that's fine. But when the season rolls around, it's going to be IL only.
Gotcha. Which is the guys with the red cross.
The red cross. Yeah. Red cross only on your IL. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's fine right now, Amrock. Again, I checked that box or unchecked that box, whatever that was, because not many guys are on the IL right now. And if you got a guy that had Tommy John in December, he needs to be on your IL. No sense in you not having access to free agents that you would otherwise have access to, simply because the Dodgers moved May to IL so somebody else gets an advantage.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So what other questions do people have while you have me here? It looks like there's a couple people watching. So any other questions you have, fire.
I think you covered most of them in the. Did you discuss? Let's see. Oh, the Ryan question. Have you seen that or not? You want me to read it?
I think so. Is that about why we reversed waivers?
Yeah, and stuff like that. If you wanted to address, I know he seems like he really wants that addressed. And
yeah, I'll address it. I don't know that it's a good answer. I woke up at like 5 a.m. and Amrock's blowing my phone up telling me waivers ran, and I didn't tell the league they were going to run. I had the box unchecked, but Fantrax differentiates between waivers and fab claims. And so for some reason, waivers runs after like 48 hours. And so it auto ran everyone that was on a waiver. And then that's what happened the next time as well. Only the players that had waiver went through. Other fab claims didn't go through, I believe. So I woke up early in the morning. Amrock, I literally think it was like 5:08, is like, dude, the waivers ran. And the first one was like 10 a.m. The next one was at like 5 a.m. And I thought I could reverse it before anyone saw it or many people saw it. And that way it would be fair to the 15 owners that didn't put claims in yet because they were told no waivers were being run. I realized it is unfair to the players that, had their bids exposed. I didn't have a good solution. I acted as quickly as I could, thinking that it would reduce the amount of information that was out there. I think I saw in the chat there's somewhere where you can go and look up what those bids were, even though I reversed them. That's extremely unfortunate. I didn't realize it would work that way. I realized some guys got screwed there. I couldn't make it fair for everybody because if you were sitting around waiting for me to tell you waivers were going to run through and you didn't put a waiver order in, you wouldn't have even had a shot. And if you already bid somebody, you got exposed. So I feel badly about that. Didn't realize it would work that way. Systems error, if you will, in my understanding of how it worked. I just acted as quickly as I could to see if we could mitigate that. I will say I do feel good that it wasn't the first Fabapalooza because that would have been huge, right? And so I'm not trying to minimize anyone who got disenfranchised from that action there, but at least it wasn't Fabapalooza.
It was really just Jake Junis. I mean, that seems to be like
Jake Junis, and I think somebody God, there's another guy who went for $3 who shouldn't.
Which, yes, he's a starting pitcher. Like, he's a starting pitcher with a rotation spot.
Yeah, and ultimately, I mean, again, if Jake Junis is the deciding factor in the championship, I will be surprised. I don't want to belittle the importance of pitching and how a lot of teams out there need it. And if you got cheated out of your guy, I hate that. I'm sorry. I don't know what I can do about it other than just give you coal like Amrock gave you to me.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Like, the team who owns Junis will probably have him traded away before St. Patrick's Day. I mean, he's not going to stay on that team. Traded away. So.
When is St. Patrick's Day? That's in March, right?
Yeah, I was trying to set a conservative over under. That's like roughly a month away, and I just wanted to match my awesome, tux shirt that I got going on. So. That's all I have.
The hat clashes with the tuxedo shirt just a little bit, but
it does. I can go a little.
It was a festive atmosphere. We got our prospects signed. Big step out of the way. And as the foundation of the league becomes that much more firm now that prospects are locked onto teams, everybody is certain now who exactly they have, who exactly they don't when it comes to prospects. So good step to get out of the way.
Now I'm just going to be interested when our first Amrock trade will be after this for a higher dollar signed prospect because he didn't want to spend the real money to get that prospect.
I know it's all in jest. It seems like you like to rip on the guys making that trade. He is.
I'm just kidding. He is me. And he does not realize like I was him 3 years ago. Like Sam can vouch for it as well. Like I was him.
Wacky, zany trades where you trade a guy and then you trade back for him 3 days later.
And then like use the domino effect policy of I've gained this by gaining that.
Y'all are giving Amrock a hard time, but when I look at the teams out there, I think the guy's a top half team. Oh, there was a question about divisions and leagues, right? Yeah, so the intent is that the top 8 from each league make it into the playoffs. So the leagues do matter in that context. We don't have divisions because in ABL, each division leader goes, and then the wild cards are based on the ones who aren't division leaders. But that's not really fair if you don't have a division-heavy schedule. So why should you come from the AL East where you win 30 games or 70 games, but you win your division, so you go to the playoffs, but you didn't play your division more times than you played the rest of the people. So the best I could do was to do it by leagues where everybody's just going to play essentially everybody close to the same amount of time, but there will be an 8-team AL, an 8-team NL. They will play each other in their own playoffs, and the winner of the NL 8 will play the winner of the AL 8 for the championship.
So also, didn't you kind of hint, and I apologize, I'm not meaning to put words in your mouth, but didn't you kind of hint that if Fantrax gets to the divisional balance?
Yeah, no, I didn't hint. I think it might even be written in the Constitution, but either way, I did say that. Yeah, it's just a systems issue. They don't have a way to automatically weight your division schedule higher or heavier. And it's fairly...
And then to answer, Chris did follow up.
Fairly arduous to go in and manually do it.
Chris did follow up and saying, but do the teams only play each other in division until finals? So it seems like you addressed that by saying, yes, they are.
Yeah, you'll stay in league. You'll stay in league. So, 2 from the AL won't play 7 from the NL or anything like that. Okay. So Amrock knows what he's talking about. Once again, trading talent to the AL so that it's not beating him in the NL.
3D chess, man. I'm just playing checkers. 3D chess. I got Bush Light and checkers. That's it.
Yeah, I think that one thing that Amrock is doing well, and I know this is way beyond what we got on this pod to do, but one thing that he's doing well is he understands the value of depth. If you have a blank spot in your roster, it is 0 points. If you put a 2-point per game player in there, that's something like 12 points per week. 12 points per week is like the difference between like Acuna and Eddie Rosario or something. Okay, so having that dead spot is very, very lethal. And he's correct in that. What I don't think he's accounting for, sorry, Amrock, and this is why I did the terrible thing of reversing the Cole trade that just broke the league. It was the worst thing I've ever done. And I'm so sorry for it. All right. But I really didn't feel like he knew what he was doing. And I didn't want to be the one as the commissioner that knows the rules inside and out and knows how these leagues play out to be the one benefiting from his blunder. But you know what? Whatever. What's done is done. But what he's missing is I think that historically something like the bottom 10 teams somewhere around the second or third month of the season identify that they're the bottom 10 teams, and they sell anybody that has a pulse that they're not going to use this year. And so if you were winning the first 2 or 3 months because you had depth when nobody else, when some other teams did, you will start to lose in the second half of playoffs because you still have depth, but you traded your apex guys to get that depth. And so if I get Cole starting Sunday or Monday and Saturday in a playoff matchup, and you've got Jacob Junis because he's better than having a blank spot, and that helped you all year, you're going to get crushed in the playoffs there. And so I think maybe he realizes that, maybe he doesn't. I'm not trying to call him out, but it's been a very public conversation. That was my calculus there. I was like, I know it looks good. I know that people can spin the story to say it's giving him depth, he's going to win. But I really feel like trading an apex piece for depth is going to be something that makes your team mediocre a team 10 to 15 in the regular season and a one and done in the playoffs. If that's his goal, okay, that's his goal. But anyways.
Hey, did you get that? The DM I sent you to Alan with that? I sent you the actual over-unders because it'll show it'll highlight what Sam's talking about. If you've got that and you can pull it up.
I could probably pull it up, but I don't want to because this thing has already went 45 minutes.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I want to use it eventually, but that's not what we're here for, and that'll start a whole new discussion. Then we'll end up going for another hour, and I'm just not prepared for that tonight. So,
hey, I'm the one with an empty house, so I wanted it to go as long as possible, obviously. So.
Yeah, well,
like I said, for watching. Alan, thanks for hosting for sure. I know it was last minute, but my week's kind of stupid, so I figured you get it. Yeah.
Now that we're solidified, and yeah, this is something that we wanted to kind of just knock out and get it done so that everybody knows where they stand more or less. And now that they do, that also allows me and whoever's going to jump on with me to really start looking at and dissecting some of these teams and roll out some more preseason pods, I guess I would say, before we get into like the doldrums of the regular season. So yeah, look forward to more stuff in the future. We're gonna probably rank the entire league in one form or another, and maybe be a little more structured. And I'll get into like a weekly groove and stuff, and we'll get it all figured out. But nice big step out of the way. Sam, thanks. Tony, thanks. I do kind of like that hat, Tony. I think I've said that before. I kind of like it.
That's the Wrigleyville, yeah.
The Wrigleyville hat. All right, guys. Until next time. Thank you both. Sam, take it easy. Tony, take it easy.